everybody. I was talking to my children about serving, volunteering at church, volunteering at the hospital, volunteering anywhere real work is happening. And I told them something I want you to hear too. Because when someone lets you in a room where real work is going on, you should be thankful. Do not walk in acting like you did everybody a favor because you showed up for 2 hours. You're not only giving something, you're receiving something that actually may become worth more than any paycheck you could have earned that day. You are receiving experience. Everybody wants to get paid nowadays. That's all we hear online. Pay this, pay that, pay for a course, right? Pay for my trip and come with me. And, everybody wants to get paid. But how many people are actually sowing a seed? And so you are getting and receiving something that experience everybody doesn't get to have. When you get an experience, even think about your first gig, if you're a little older and you've had your first job, you got a job and that was your first test. So, and a lot of people nowadays don't want to go through tests. They think AI is going to help them through tests. AI is not going to help you with every test in your life. But everybody wants the position, but few people actually want to start at the bottom. Everybody wants the title, but nobody wants to carry the boxes or the luggage, especially when you talk about entertainment for the artist. Nobody wants to do that. But you got to do that no matter what level you are, and it shows how humble you are. You got to answer the phones. You got to watch the professionals make mistakes and learn how the operation really runs. So let me tell you the truth. Nobody owes you an experience. And that's what I was trying to tell my kids. Your parents do not owe it to you to do everything for you. After they're done wiping your butt, they teach you, they feed you, this and that. At some point, you got to say, you know what? I got to jump on something. So school does not owe anything to you, especially if you don't want to read the books or if you want to cheat your way through with AI. You're actually doing yourself a disservice. Your employer does not owe anything to you except that check and whatever breaks you have, when you show up on time. Your church does not owe anything. Jesus saves. The church is there to give you the word. But so many people think you're owed something. Sometimes, folks, you just have to volunteer. And in that volunteering, you ask questions. You help somebody, you take the smaller assignment, prove you can be trusted with a little before expected to be trusted with a lot. I would rather have one real experience than spend another year listening to somebody say, I'm about to do, I'm fixing to do, I want to do it. But at some point, stop announcing what you're about to do and get to it and get over it. Whatever that is that's stopping you. And you need to learn from it and adjust and move forward. Some people have been about to start the same business for 5 years. And they think sometimes when they're telling you like it's brand new. And they've been trying to fix something to apply for an opportunity for 3 years, 10 years. They've been talking about the same idea so long that somebody else already built it, sold it, and moved on to the next opportunity. Now, planning has value, but endless planning can become fear. And you know what? What's that analysis of paralysis? Just get to it. Experience comes from execution. You might make a mistake. You might discover that you do not enjoy the work. You might lose some money. You might find out you didn't have enough money to even start. But now you know something that the person who is still talking about it and saying, I'm about to, does not know. You know what happens when the plan meets reality. And you know what? That matters. You know what else matters? Degrees matter. Credentials matter. Education matters. Even if you have all of that, reading. And I always said the late, great Miles Monroe taught us to read a book a week. And that matters. And you'll see a difference. You will see a difference. But when 10 people have the same degree, same experience, and you know what becomes the separator? You think it's their degree? And telling people what they studied or where they studied? Or do you think it's the experience?
You've tried it your way, but you're still in debt. Or maybe you're doing okay, but want to invest smarter, grow faster. MillionaireX.ai gives you real step-by-step strategies to ditch debt or stack wealth. Stop dreaming and start planning. Visit MillionaireX.ai today. I want you to be the next millionaire next door.
That tells people what you have handled, what you have built, especially in this AI moment. Everybody here in South Florida says, oh, I have my own AI. None of them know the ins and outs, even how to build and what it's built on. A lot of people are going on other platforms and they're saying, because I could build a website, I could build an app, it's my own AI. And some people, if you want to say that, that's fine. But to some people, you don't look too learned, right? So, and that is also, to each his own. Cada loco con su tema, with my malo español. But I'll tell you, if you can tell me and show me you built something, I'm like, whoa, okay, can you build that for us? And whether you have a degree or not, it doesn't matter. Your degree says you completed assignments. Your experience says you solved the problem when there was no answer key. So let me give you a piece of my own life advice. When I was young, I helped a friend with his paper route. I got on my bicycle, woke up early, biked the whole route myself. I think I even called and maybe even collected some money when people were home, because you had to wait back then when people were home, because there were no mobile phones. There were no, internet as we know it right now. And so, that sounds like a small childhood story, but look closer at what was happening. I had to deliver a product on time. I had to remember the route. I had to deal with customers. I had to collect money door to door and talk to grown folks. And I had to keep records and keep moving even when tired, because that 5 o'clock has never been my favorite time to wake up. And I was in the distribution. I was in the sales. I was in the service. I was in the accounts receivable. I was in the logistics. I did not know it then, but I was just riding in a bicycle. That thing was heavy. And I was attending business school, and my tuition was a paper route. And I only did that for a little bit. I didn't last in that. And he came back, and you had to, paper routes, people, they were serious about their paper routes. But young people may not be able to get that exact same experience at such a young age. But technology changed the newspaper, subscription payments, and delivery system. But the lesson is still available. Find something useful to do, serve somebody, sell something, and deliver something. Solve a problem. Learn how money, people, systems, and responsibility move all together. When I was coming up, I wasn't, I was one of those, I was willing to do almost any honest job, but some jobs paid next to nothing. But I was collecting something besides money, and I didn't know it. But I was collecting knowledge. I learned how different people communicate. I learned how customers behave, and I learned what good management looks like, and I learned what bad management looks like, even if it was just me doing it, right? I learned how organizations waste money and how people waste time, and how discipline can build trust. And those experiences compound. So we understand compound interest when we talk about money, whether it's on this platform or Diversified Game podcast, wherever I decide to put this. But experience compounds too. The lesson you learned at 15 can help you at 25. The relationship you build at 20 can open a door at 35. The mistake you survive at 30 can stop you from destroying a company at 45. The experience you accept today may not pay you immediately, but it could prevent an expensive decision 25 years from now. If you want to see the evidence from my journey, search Kellen Coleman on LinkedIn or Facebook. You can also find me as Kellen Kash on some of those platforms. Kash with a K, RCACHE. You will see that I have had many different experiences involving business, media, education, social services, sports, international travel, and working with people from different cultures. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying it because every experience became another brick. One brick may not look impressive by itself, but decades after stacking brick after brick after brick, you have something strong enough to support a family, a business, and a future. And in my case, become a consultant, a sports agent, an advisor. And with that, I get to have freedom. People see the freedom today. They do not see the years that purchased it. They see the business owner. They did not see the young man on the bicycle. They didn't see the young man with my Aunt Sherry and other cousins working with her janitorial company. And right now I'm thinking, how well did we really clean? When I see how, sometimes kids clean, not mine because they actually do a good job, but how I see, other kids there, if I'm in classrooms and I'm like, okay, it's not perfect, but it's better than doing nothing, right? So what people see that I've traveled through Africa and Asia and Europe and other parts of the world on social media, but they didn't see the small jobs, the sacrifices, the risk and preparation that helped make those decisions even possible. Experience does not only impact your resume, your business, or your paycheck. Experience can influence who you select as a spouse. If your entire life has been limited to one block, one city, or one state, how do you know whether that person you selected was truly the best match for your faith, your values, your character, and your future? Was that person just the best aligned choice, or simply the closest available who you found somewhere, online, offline, within your limited environment? Especially those of you who haven't traveled, overseas. But don't misunderstand me. The right person could live next door. Love does not require an international flight, but proximity is not proof of capability. And just be familiar is not always evidence of alignment. So traveling and working and serving and meeting people from different backgrounds can teach you what you value in faith and family and money and communication, ambition, parenting, and conflict resolution. If you have only witnessed one type of relationship, you may confuse what is familiar and what is healthy. Exposure helps you ask better questions before making a lifetime commitment. For unmarried people, expand your exposure before choosing. Learn who you are and what type of person is truly aligned with the life you are building. For married people, do not misuse this message as an excuse to compare your spouse to strangers or try to get out of that. You're stuck now, but you don't have to be stuck. Get therapy. But once you make that covenant, your responsibility is to use your new experiences to strengthen your marriage, not to keep browsing for replacements. The same principle applies to friendships. Are those people truly your friends because you share values, discipline, faith? Are they your friends because you guys, used to TP and do all type of mischief around the block? Are they just people who live nearby, attend at the same school, or happen to be available? Some friendships are based on purpose. Others are based entirely on geography. The same thing happens with employment. Are you working in the best position for your abilities, or did you accept the closest job you knew existed across the street? And I tell you, I remember being able to just walk across the street from work. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. The only thing that beats that is being able to walk 3 steps outside and you got that view behind me and you're able to work and have your same meetings that you would, helping people. And so you got to ask yourself, are you building the career you're designed for? Are you just repeating the only type of work your family and neighborhood expose you to? This can also impact your money. If anyone around you lives paycheck to paycheck and saving and investing can appear unusual, if nobody around you owns a business, entrepreneurship can seem impossible. If you never meet investors or property owners, executives, or international mobile professionals, nomads, you may never realize these options are available to you. That is why I tell people to get a passport, save money intentionally, and travel. Visit another city, state, country. It is financially responsible. Attend school away from home. Participate in an exchange program. Volunteer outside your neighborhood. Again, I want you to be, if this is financially responsible for you and you have the call, I want you to do it. I want you to accept a work opportunity somewhere unfamiliar. Learn something beyond your parents' four walls, besides your parents' politics. That is not disrespecting your parents. Your responsibility is honor what they taught you and then extend the foundation they gave you. Your children should not inherit the exact same limitations that you inherited. Your parents may have taken the family from survival to stability. Your assignment may be to take the family from stability to ownership. Your children's assignment may be to take that ownership globally. Each generation should have a larger map. I remember being in another country when our car broke down and we had to wait at a small local place, my father-in-law and I. And, while the situation handled itself, waiting for the tow truck. And I could have become angry, but I wasn't, because my kids and my mother-in-law and everybody were able to, take a taxi. We're the ones waiting. I'm on, holiday, so my schedule can change. But instead of being angry too, I was learning patience, which I always need to work on. And I also was learning that, I need to see the people around me. I tasted fresh palm wine for the first time. I always got it in the jugs, the glasses from the store. But it allowed the culture to teach me, instead of fighting the interruption, sometimes the breakdown is the education. It is the experience. And that's what can make me. Experience can break you too. Experience can shake you. But when you process it correctly, experience can take you to the next level. God can use you. He can use the classroom, the church, the hospital, the paper route, the broken car, the small job, and even the difficult season. God may provide the opportunity, but you still have to show up, serve, learn, and steward the opportunity properly. You got to have a growth mindset. You can attend a big name university, and that is an experience, I'm sure. But you also may receive powerful networks and professors and traditions and access to doors that are difficult for others like myself who didn't go to big schools to enter. But you can also attend a community college, and that is also an experience. You may receive smaller classrooms, lower costs, local relationships. Hey, DVC, shout out to y'all. And the flexibility to work while you study. The name of the institution may open a door, but what you extract from the experience determines what you carry through that door. One person can graduate from a big name school with debt, arrogance, and no practical ability, especially if they're using AI all day. And another person can graduate from community college with low debt, strong references, work experience, and a business already generating revenue. I've seen it. The institution matters, but the student's decision matters just as much. Here are 5 moves I want every young person and every parent to understand. First, choose volunteer work very intentionally. If you want healthcare experience, serve around healthcare. If you want ministry experience, serve faithfully at church. If you want business experience, help an entrepreneur. Point the experience towards the future you actually want. I was telling my children, if you want to babysit, the church is a great place to start, because you have adults and plenty of kids and plenty of adults around. So when someone asks you to do it at their house, you can say, yes, I am CPR certified. Yes, I've done this at my church for a year or more. So, because I wouldn't trust anybody with my child. Secondly, I want you to expand your geography. I want you to get a passport, people, before it's too late. I want you to build a dedicated travel fund. I want you to attend a program outside your city and visit another state or country.
Ready to dominate your industry with strategy that actually scales? At Coleman Public Relations and Consulting Firm, we're not just PR experts, we're licensed sports agents certified in AI and elite business consultants with over 2 decades of experience leading global projects across multiple countries. Visit CPRFIRM.com, that's ColemanPRFIRM.com, and MillionaireX.ai. Then download the Millionaire X app, your AI powered guide to getting out of debt, investing smarter, and building generational wealth. Coleman Public Relations and Consulting Firm. It's a family business, it's different.
Build meaningful relationships with people outside your normal profession in cultural circles. All your tribe doesn't have to look like you. Third, I want you to keep an experience ledger. Write down what you did. Go back to the journal days, the diary days, whatever you want to call it, the blogging, what I'm doing here, just, talking into a camera. I want you to write or blog these things, vlog these things, the problems you solve, the results you produce, and what you learn. That becomes material for your resume, your interviews, business, and even personal stories, even if you're at restaurants, bars, and making everybody chuckle like me. Fourth, I want you to convert experience into evidence. Ask for references, document results. Oh man, I had an issue with this where it's like, get those things before people disappear. Out of sight, out of mind. I want you to build a portfolio. Saying you are hardworking is a claim. Showing completed projects, recommendations, pictures, and measurable results is proof. Fifth, I want you to turn experience into ownership. Learn the job. You're just there temporarily. Study the system. Identify the problem. Then build an asset. Build a business, a process. Get investment, intellectual property that belongs to you. Good, you could be on YouTube, but you don't own it. Build something like MillionaireX.ai that has your name on it. Now here it is. Greater exposure does not mean that everything far away is automatically better. A foreign spouse is not automatically better. A distant university is not automatically better. An international job, you get the point. You get the point. But the exposure expands your choices. You got to have the faith. You got to have the works. Put the wisdom and the character, the safety and financial responsibility. Let that guide your final decision. Experience expands the menu. Wisdom determines what you order, and volunteering should have become a permanent free labor. Not! It should just be a permanent free labor. You should be getting paid. I don't want you to be permanently free. There's a lot of consultants and people who want to help. I got to keep you guys awake because content like this doesn't always, people make it to the end. So you got to spice it up. But I want you to serve with humility, y'all, and understand your value. Establish a learning goal and a timeline. When your responsibilities increase and you're producing measurable value, it is fair to discuss a title, recommendation, paid opportunities, and partnerships. Do not confuse being humble with being used, because a lot of people try to use you. And you know what? They won't even know they're using you. That's their own mistake. But I think it's 1 Peter 2:9. It's a great, go look that up. I think that'll make sense to you. And there's other scriptures that I'm thinking, about having a good friend that is loyal. But the bottom line, to wrap things up, a credential may qualify you for consideration, but experience makes people trust you with responsibility. Experience gives you stories, instincts, relationships, confidence, judgment, and evidence. But ownership allows those experiences to keep paying your family long after the original work is finished. Stop telling people what you're about to do, and during the next 30 days, complete one experience. that strengthens your future. Serve somebody else besides yourself or even your family, and see how you can make this world a better place, especially with AI. Again, I don't want you cheating with your exams and your tests with it, but you can definitely use AI to create something that might heal somebody, and stop letting family and friends take advantage of you. If you're paying people and there's no ROI, there's better ways to pay them, even if they're your own children. I can't tell you how often I see that. And you're not doing children a favor. You're not doing your siblings a favor by giving them a job that they don't qualify for. Don't be manipulated anymore. But that's the game, y'all. Got my ginger beer. You guys, if you like this type of content, make comments. Tell me you want to hear more. I'm just trying to give you what your daddy didn't tell you. And you guys, like this stuff, but most importantly, as I always say, share this, gang. Get out of debt. Bye. Be blessed.
Hi everyone. Have you ever been curious about visiting Africa? Which African country were you interested in? Kenya, Nigeria, Uganda, South Africa, Ethiopia? Which country are you interested in? My good friend, Kellen Kash Coleman, came up with a course called My First Trip to Africa that'll guide you through this process. It's only $20, and in this course you'll learn about passports, visas, vaccinations that you need before you go there, as well as a budget, how much the trip is going to cost. He also talks about what you should pack, what you should take with you, how you should travel on a budget. Did you know that $100 is worth 1,000 South African rand and over 10,000 Kenyan shillings? So imagine what you can do with $100 back home. I say back home because I'm from Sudan, I'm African, I already know how it's like. I know that, when you convert Canadian and American money, it goes a long way when you're traveling across Africa. So if you're curious, if Africa is a place that you've always wanted to go, always wanted to move there, Kellen Kash is the person to ask. Check out the course. There's a little preview you can listen to before you actually purchase it. If you're interested in this course, visit www.diversifiedgame.com. Don't miss out.